locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke loves wrestling.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Welcome to WrestleMania!
This isn't one of those stupid trademarked slogans that you're going to get sued for saying.
Well,
like the Get Ready to Rumble guy.
My good friend Vincent Kennedy McMahon, he would not sue me. He appreciates the fact that I will honor him by doing an impression like that. Honor him.
Oh, you really scare me, especially this time of year. You get that crazed look in your eye.
I love it.
WrestleMania, I can't take it.
This is the Super Bowl of wrestling. This is it. This is the granddaddy of them all. Okay, this is what we all showed up for.
Refresh my memory. In the 80s, there is considered the best. Is it WrestleMania 3 considered like?
Yeah, Hogan versus Andre. Sure.
Right.
Yep.
There's no reason that you should ever have to watch any other WrestleMania than that.
Why?
Because it peaked.
No. Okay.
They're putting out subpar product nowadays, and you know it, and I know it, and the fans know it. Even the subhumans know it. And they still eat this stuff up.
Can you, for one time a year, be positive about the wrestling product? Just be positive.
You know how the Grinch steals Christmas? The bad boy steals WrestleMania.
Okay.
That's what I'm doing to you. To you only. I hope everyone else enjoys themselves. I hope if they're going, have a great time. If you're watching on TV, enjoy it. I hope your cable goes out.
You
don't deserve it because you talk too much smack to me and other people.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Wrestling. I am the Duke, and yes, I am excited about WrestleMania weekend, despite my illustrious co-host, the Boston bad boy, Iron Mike Pelosi's Grinchy attitude. Okay,
it's like, listen, it's never going to live up to what you hype it so much. You people hype it so much, it can never live up to the expectation. So you know what? Just go back to the nostalgia when you were a little kid and everything was great and enjoy it there. That's like people, you know what you people are? You're the equivalent of Star Wars fans. You overhype these movies that come out so much that you hate them when they come out. When all you want to do is just go back and watch the original movie so you can feel like you were when you were a little kid. I don't want to tell you.
I hate WrestleMania. I love WrestleMania.
No, but then you go on and on about this should have been better, it should have been this match, it should have been done, this person. If Roman Reigns wins, you're going to be all bent out of shape.
We will riot if Roman Reigns
exactly.
wins.
So there you go, right there. Ridiculous.
Stop it.
Someone's already decided if Roman Reigns is going to win. There's a vault with a script in it somewhere, and the fact that you're going to get upset about it is ridiculous.
You're rude.
You're crazy.
What are the top stories in the world of professional wrestling?
I really don't care.
Well, we're going to find out during Run the Ropes.
How about that?
Our main man from Texas, Brad Sanders. He joins us this week. He has a pretty good story.
Are you sure that's who's joining us this week?
What do you mean?
Well, you sure you got his name right?
Dude, I really messed up.
Come to our attention.
I messed up.
That maybe you got a little confused.
I called Brad Sanders Brad Stevens, which is the coach of the Boston Celtics.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just messed up.
Well, I just got to tell you something. This guy's a big dude. I hope he didn't catch that.
I don't think he caught it.
All right.
I think we'll be fine.
Okay. We'll see.
If he did catch it, he's going to have to catch me because I'm running.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play around with that dude. All that, plus we have plenty more. But before we get to any of this stuff here, folks, Boston Bad Boy.
What?
The WWE was here.
Oh, God. Don't do
in
I told
sunny
you.
Boston, Massachusetts.
I told you do not bring it up.
No, I got to bring it up.
I told you do not bring this up on the show.
They were
Don't
here.
ever talk to me about it in public again or in private.
Stop it. The road to WrestleMania, they were here this past Friday.
It was a frightening road, let me tell you.
Yeah.
Frightening.
Well, listen, what was your favorite moment of the WWE live event here in Boston?
You know what? I really went in with an open mind.
Yes.
I was going to say I don't remember anything because I blacked out rather early on.
When Too much drinking, huh?
No, I was fine.
Yeah.
One of the subhuman fans that were surrounding us like the Walking Dead, this person, they're eating a hot dog. Whatever. Eating a hot dog, and they're in the midst of eating this hot dog. They're going to town on this disgusting hot dog.
Stop it.
And whatever happens, I forget. I don't even know. The crowd was reacting to something.
John Cena.
Again, don't remind me. I blacked out. The subhuman drops the hot dog on the floor of the Boston Garden. The floor of the Boston Garden. And you'd think, well, sorry, hot dog, I got a little bit out of you. Subhuman bends over, picks up the effing hot dog, and continues to eat it. What is going on with your people here?
Dude, it's like an $8 hot dog. I mean, I
It's
kind of don't blame
the floor
him.
of the Boston Garden. What's wrong with you? So at that point, there was this like, I was in like a coma
You
came
were
over
so
me.
repulsed.
I was just like, it was like a palsy.
Yeah.
And I was just like having this fit, and I don't remember anything else until I got home.
You know what? I'm going to put up a poll. Folks, if you
I'd like to put you up a poll.
If you drop a hot dog at a WWE live event.
No. We're not putting up a poll because this is not up for debate.
No,
when you drop food on the ground, it's done.
It's an expensive hot dog.
The food is done. First of all, who knows what's in that hot dog?
Stuff.
Yeah, something's in there.
Yeah.
As a friend of mine is fond of saying, you want a hot dog? Just remember, it's all lips and assholes. Okay, that's what they make it out of. All the meat no one else wants to eat. Okay? Never mind. Now you take that awful and throw it on the floor of the Boston Garden. Disgusting.
A lot of steps.
What is wrong with you? If that happened, you need to reevaluate your life. Normally, I would have grabbed that person and put him in a full Nelson until they submitted. But I was so taken. I'd never seen anything like it in my life.
And he finished that hot dog, too.
Get the hell out of here.
He finished that hot dog.
It's making me want to gag right now. It's disgusting.
With that said, run the ropes. It's time to run the ropes. It's when I educate this knucklehead Boston bad boy on the top stories in the world of professional wrestling. Let's go. Listen, there is only one story in pro wrestling this week that matters, and we are talking about WrestleMania. So I'm going to run down real quick.
You know, I have a question
picks.
I want to talk about. There's other news coming out of, but I'm going to save it for later. There's other news this week, and I know it's convenient you don't want to talk about it, but we'll get to it later.
All right, just
I'm
take
gonna
it
put
easy.
it in the queue.
I just sometimes with you, man, it's like we have the one time a year where it's like the best time of year, and you are just trying to find ways to ruin it.
Like the person eating a hot dog off the floor. If this is the best time of year for you, you need to reevaluate your life choices.
Stop it. All right, folks, WrestleMania. Let me run down the card real quick. My picks. You know they love when I do this. They love when I do this.
Who's they? Who's this invisible they? Because I certainly don't like it. I haven't met one person who likes it.
Stop it. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, okay? This is the Memorial Battle Royal here.
Yeah, we get it. We know he's passed on.
Who's going to win? The perfect 10.
Really?
10.
Is that
He's going to win. That's right. He's going to win. I'm telling you.
Who's he against?
Everybody.
Oh, it's the Battle Royal.
It's a Battle Royal.
That's right.
Give me a break. Come on. Don't be silly there.
So you think out of 10?
Ty Dillinger is going to win.
You think out of him, he's going to win?
He's going to do it. He's going to do it. He deserves the push. So, and I think he can do something with that trophy.
I'm writing this down.
All right. So next up, we have the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal, formerly known as the Fabulous Moolah.
So now they just dropped the name. They didn't come up with anything else.
Yeah.
They said if we can't honor the pimp Moolah, we're going to not honor anybody.
Come on, man.
It's unimaginative. It's wrong.
Come on.
How many women wrestlers who did well whose names could be put up there?
Take it easy.
Yeah, I'll take it easy.
All right.
Easy all over your face.
I say Bayley wins, and she wins by screwing over my girl Sasha Banks, which sets up their feud. Bayley's going to turn heel. I'm telling you right now. You heard it from me first, there, folks.
Heard it from you only.
Oh, no, stop it. Next up, Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the vacant WWE Cruiserweight Championship. I'm going with Mustafa. He has a great story. You know, he comes from a Middle Eastern background, and he's trying to be the character that's not the stereotype.
Well, that's nice.
The anti-American.
They haven't thrown him the way they did with Jinder.
Yeah.
They haven't pulled that.
Don't hinder Jinder.
Well, the thing is, and let's make sure we advise the subhumans listening. Jinder is not from the Middle East.
He's Canadian.
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
All right, he's Canadian. His heritage is actually Indian or Pakistani.
Yeah.
And he's a Sikh.
Yes.
This other fella has Middle East. So know your nationalities before you try and pigeonhole somebody.
You know, you always talk about how you don't watch wrestling, but you know so much about this
Well,
stuff.
you know what?
Well, look at that.
You know why? Because this stuff is important.
Oh, okay.
The stuff that goes on behind the scenes, the potential bigotries that can happen because of bad storylines.
Goodness.
That's what's important to me.
Okay.
The real world stuff.
Just take it
Move
easy.
it on.
Take it easy. All right, next up, we have Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev. It's a fatal four-way for the United States Championship. I say Rusev wins.
Interesting.
What's going on with Rusev is interesting because he started off as anti-American. But the fans don't want that.
Well, again, it's the WWE missing the mark on what the fans want.
They didn't miss the mark.
They missed the mark.
They gave the guy a gimmick. It didn't work.
Well, here's the
That's
thing.
what happened.
They're kneecapping all their best people because there are these guys who obviously are good, who if you're picking them, they obviously have some sort of ability to win a match.
Sure.
But it doesn't jive with what their gimmick is or the storyline. How hard is this?
It happens.
How hard is this? It's like writing children's stories. Just do it. It's not hard. Good guy, bad guy, little splash, little fireworks, little drama. It's not hard. They've been doing it for 40 friggin' years.
Okay, expert. Next up, Cesaro and Sheamus, a.k.a. The Bar, versus Braun Strowman and a partner to be determined. Who's going to be his partner? Is it going to be you?
You couldn't pay me enough. Because I'd be, you know why?
Why?
The crowd would just go over for me like you would. Look at this face.
Stop.
Look at this face.
Don't give me.
Look at this face.
All right. Okay, Aaron Neville there. Give me a break. I say Braun Strowman and his partner, I think it's going to be the Big Show, by the way. Breaking news. I think it's going to be the Big Show.
Well, they usually not announce that till day of?
Well, in this case, they want to draw it out. I think it's going to be the Big Show.
Desperate.
And then the Big Show will turn on them, and that'll start their feud.
How about just give people a good show? How about that?
Yeah, that's important. Next up, the Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers.
What's going on with the Usos, by the way?
I love their new gimmick, man.
Yeah, but what about the one that had a little
the
trouble?
DUI and all that stuff. I think they're going to lose this match so he can serve as suspension. They haven't suspended him yet.
Isn't that interesting?
But I think it's coming.
Isn't that interesting?
I think it's coming.
How convenient it comes after the biggest moneymaker of the year. They didn't want to do. They didn't want to do the right thing, even if it cost them a nickel.
And the Usos are making them a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, give me a break.
We'll get to that at some point.
I say the New Day win this match here. Next up, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Can I just say something going back to the Usos for a minute? No. If you're the New Day and you're wrestling these guys on a big event, WrestleMania, and they come to you ahead of time and say, the Usos are going to lose. Okay, New Day, you're going to win. And the reason is this guy's going to go serve his DUI. If you're the New Day, you go, what the F? Why am I not winning because I'm the guy they want to put over? I'm winning.
Are you trying to plant seeds of problems in the company?
Please, they've sprouted enough problems of their effing own.
Don't do that.
If you're the New Day and you go, well, how come we can't stand on our own 2 feet the way we want to, or our own 4 feet, the way we should? I'm only getting over because this guy's going to go serve a DUI. Shouldn't even be in the company to begin with.
Stop it.
She should be suspended.
Stop.
According to their own policies.
Okay, take it easy. Yeah. All right.
Can we get through this? You're getting me aggravated here. I got agita.
Well, Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon, I think they're going to lose the match because Shane is going to turn on Daniel. That's what I see coming. Which, Daniel Bryan, his return match to wrestling.
Does Daniel Bryan survive this match?
Okay, that's why I wanted to just sweep right through that part.
I didn't want to. You want to brush it under the rug.
Can we get through this?
No, you tell me.
Is this guy going to
live? Is this guy going to live through it?
Yes, he's going to live through it.
Okay, you better hope so. I hope so. Listen, I don't want this guy to get hurt. I just think that the disgusting fans who drop hot dogs on the ground and then eat them are those same people who want to see a guy potentially die in the ring because they have nothing better going on in their lives.
You're a piece of work tonight, I swear. Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I say finally Triple H and Stephanie lose. Okay? Triple H is finally going to lose a match.
I just say those guys are losing at life anyway.
Okay.
So it'd be nice that if art imitated life.
That was very rude. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax for the Raw Women's Championship. I say Nia Jax wins the match, and then she loses because my girl Carmella cashes in her Money in the Bank. At the end of the match. Are they still
doing this?
They're still doing this.
Oh, hasn't this been since like a year and a half they've been doing this thing?
Her father is a good friend of mine.
You and your friends. I don't want to hear about your friends anymore. Your imaginary friends.
That's my buddy there, and
how's he helping get her on the show? Your friend.
Listen.
Your friend. Yeah, okay. Does he
listen? When she wins the championship,
yeah, okay.
It will all work out. My buddy Paul.
Yeah, you're a buddy.
Yep, that's right.
My buddy.
Listen, he could beat you up.
My buddy Doll's the only buddy you got.
Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. Now, Asuka is still undefeated, so this will be an interesting match. But I say Charlotte ends Asuka's streak. She's going to win the match there. Flair wins.
You just want to say Flair wins.
Okay.
Because you're obsessed with Ric Flair.
Take it easy. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Ugh. I hope Brock Lesnar beats the hell out of this guy.
Let me ask you a question. If you had the opportunity to marry Charlotte Flair, because even if you guys hated each other and didn't get along, but just you'd be Ric Flair's son-in-law or son, would you do it?
Well, you know who's doing that? Conrad. Conrad is marrying Ric Flair's daughter, Megan.
Really?
Now, this is interesting.
Our friend Conrad?
Our friend Conrad. He's going to be coming back on the show
Wait a
soon,
minute.
too. Yeah. Listen.
How did he pull this off?
He became friends with Rick. Suddenly, Rick's like, you're a good guy. You should talk to my daughter. A little of this, a little of that. Next thing you know, they're engaged. This guy.
Do you know what I call that? A missed opportunity for you, my friend.
I know.
You were so close. You
know
flew
what?
too close to the sun.
Conrad Thompson, I challenge you, my friend, to a match at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Winner marries Flair's daughter. Either one of them.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me. I just want to be
that
called
seems
Flair.
really
I'll
inappropriate.
change my last name to Flair.
That's all
I'll
this
take
is.
that.
This is just a Floyd, so you can change your last name
Listen,
to Flair.
that's it. I will take her last name. Done.
I'm just going to tell you something. There's no way I'm doing a Duke Flair show, okay?
Can you
That's
imagine?
the end of it.
That would be
That's
awesome.
the end of it.
Okay, that would be awesome.
I draw the line at Ric Flair.
Listen,
I'm done. No
Charlotte,
more Flairs.
Megan, the Duke, I'm ready. All right?
You know what? If you say, listen, you don't even have to see me. We don't have to live in the same house. We don't have to live in the same state.
That's right.
Maybe they'd be interested.
I just want the last name. See?
That's horrifying.
Charlotte is going to break the
You
streak
are
there.
scary.
See? The number one match that should end WrestleMania, and hopefully it does, although, John Cena is calling out The Undertaker. That's not a real match because The Undertaker hasn't responded. We all know that. But I say...
He's going to show up, isn't he?
Yeah, he probably will.
You know what they'll do? They'll tease it. It'll be right at the end.
Yep.
And it'll end on a cliffhanger. He'll show up,
Yeah.
and then it's over.
And then you got to watch Monday Night Raw to find out what happens next. See? That's what they do.
That's how I'd write it.
But Shinsuke Nakamura challenges AJ Styles for the WWE World Championship. I say Shinsuke wins.
I have a better storyline for the Undertaker thing because I'm not even listening to you about Shinsuke.
Oh, Jesus.
They have what they do is there's something's going on. Cena comes out at the end of the show. I'm not going to watch, so you got to tell me if this happens. He's mouthing off, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, the Undertaker music, right? And then there's a silhouette projected. The hat, the Undertaker, blah, blah, blah. Cuts. Got to watch Raw to see what happens. Everyone is, it's the Undertaker. Turns out it's somebody else who's defending the name of the Undertaker. But maybe it's like another famous wrestler.
Oh, so you're a booker now. Is that what it is? Huh?
Wouldn't you do? Does that not sound exciting?
You don't like the fans.
Does
You
that
don't
not-
like the business,
They
but
don't
you're a booker
deserve
now.
this. They don't deserve that quality writing. This is why they're not going to get it.
Quality writing, yeah.
But that would be a good twist.
You were just a piece of
You
work.
get the projection, on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's like the hat brim, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah? Is
And
that
you
what
get
it
the
is?
music, and Cena craps his dungarees, thinking, okay, here's the Taker, and then we end. We end on that, and everyone's freaking out. What's going to happen? And then it's revealed that it's not really him.
It's you.
It could be me. I'm not that tall though, but I could do it if asked. I will serve.
Yes. Cena did a bounty commercial at a little corner store in Quincy, and it just started airing. He did it last year, but it just started airing.
Were you stalking him? Because I know you spent some time down the South Shore.
Leave me alone.
Yeah,
Okay?
you frightened me.
I know the owners.
Was he wearing the dungarees?
He was wearing the dungarees. He was wearing the dungarees.
Can we move this along, please?
Hit the bell. You've heard my WrestleMania picks. I don't want to know what you think because those are my picks and they're going to be the right thing. But you can still tell me anyway. Head over to Facebook. Head over to Twitter. Type in Duke Loves Rasslin. Let me know.
Can I just say, I'm right now making an open invitation to my friend JB, to my friend Lavelle, Raj. Any one of you guys want to come on and laugh at Duke at his incorrect picks? You're booked. I'm booking.
You know
booking
what?
right now.
Since we're talking
calling
about
them out.
friends here,
Those are my actual friends.
Ba-bomb.
Oh, here we go. This guy.
You've been ducking me, punk. WrestleGamia 2. You remember what happened last year?
Yeah, you got your clock cleaned. That's what I remember.
Well,
you got your ass handed to you.
It's time for the rematch, my man. So I'm just telling you right now, Ba-bomb, stop ducking me.
I think
It's time.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots is more your speed.
Oh, is that
I
what
think
it
you
is?
should stick to the analog gaming rather than the digital gaming.
Give me a break. Up next, the pride of Texas, Brad Sanders.
Got his name right.
Hey, this is Daniel Richards, the progressive liberal. I want you to remember to vote Democrat, turn this country around, continue listening to one of the best out there, the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast. Hello?
There he is. We're talking about my main man, my brother from another mother down in Texas. How the hell are you, Brad Sanders?
Hey, listen here. Before we get started, before we say another word, I need to talk to you about your pronunciation of my name on your last show.
Oh, boy. Oh, here we go.
Listen. I went back and I was listening. I was trying to get familiar with the show, trying to feel how this would work between you and I. And already on a bad foot, man. Like, I thought we were friends. I thought we knew each other. And to hear you call me Brad Stevens, not one time, not two times, but multiple times you call me Brad Stevens. Now, as much as I would love to claim the fame of being related to the great Ray Stevens, I wish I could say that was possible. It's not true. I'm making a name on my own with Brad Sanders. But to confuse me with the coach of the Boston Celtics, come on.
You know, I got to tell you, Brad, you're dealing with a man like Duke, and he's not really thinking with his head screwed on, if you know what I mean. Okay. He has problems.
Well, you know what? Like, it kind of hurts my feelings, a little bit, because I've gotten to know Duke. I really try to become friends with the guy. Mm-hmm. You would think a friend would know your name.
You would. Like, you would think so, but Duke is nobody's friend.
I see what's going on.
He's nobody's friend.
I see what's going on here.
There's only one saving grace. There's only one saving grace, because it really hurt me to know that I was thrown in the same picture as somebody that pretends to be a basketball coach. We all know that.
Whoa.
You're not really a coach. You just sit there and you let the guys play the game. What I do day in and day out is real. I put my body on the line, and I do real things.
I see what's going on.
With somebody that's a puppet really hurts my heart.
Wow.
But there's only one thing. There's only one thing that's your saving grace, Duke. There's just one small detail, and that's our love for the strawberry candy.
Oh, my God.
You see that?
You know what? I'm getting out. Brad, I was on your side. You had me hook, line, and sinker until you brought up the Nana candy.
Stop it.
Look here. That candy goes way back to my childhood. My grandmother, my great-grandmother kept those in a bowl, like y'all described. And it was always there. It never goes bad.
It never goes away.
It never goes away. There's always more.
It goes all the way back to the Oregon Trail. That candy was made in the 1800s.
And you know what? Like, as much as I want to be mad at Duke, like when I heard him speak about the candy, that made my heart soften a little bit. So, as much as I'm mad at him for getting me confused with someone else, our affinity for that candy kind of softened things.
How do you feel about grown men wearing fanny packs at this day and age?
I wear it. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I wear it. Okay, I wear mine when I go to shows because I don't feel like carrying everything in my pockets. If I have pockets, I show up in a suit, and there's some things like my wallet, my cell phone. I might have a protein bar or something, some loose change, whatever. Just whatever. I don't feel like walking around with that stuff in my pockets when I finally have changed out of my my suit. I'm in gym clothes. I'm in my gear, so I'll have my fanny pack on.
Oh my God. This is like there's a whole alternate universe going on here that I was unaware of, which is men wearing fanny packs with a straight face.
That's right.
Apparently exists, and it's just new to me. It's alien. It's uncomfortable, to be quite honest.
It's everywhere.
But you're a big guy. You could kick my ass, so I'm not going to say anything more about it. Duke, however, I'm going to bust his chops.
Give me a break. And listen, let me just say this right now, Brad. You know that my arch nemesis in the entire universe is Roman Reigns. I can't stand him. I appreciated the fact that you tried to apprehend him because you were deputized and you wanted to put the cuffs on him. But I got to tell you, don't you go giving me a hard time, pal, all right? Because I have a lawyer, and I will sue, okay?
Boy.
So I just want to make that clear to all you big-time wrestlers out there. The Duke is not going to fight you because he can't win, but I will sue.
Brad, I got to tell you, this just goes to prove that Duke is insane because Duke's arch nemesis in his mind is Roman Reigns. You actually worked with Roman Reigns, and now he's somehow mad at you. It makes no sense.
Well,
it's crazy. It's crazy. He's mad at me for something he did, and I'm calling out
exactly right. Yeah.
See, these Texas folks,
welcome to my life every effing day with this guy and in this show week to week.
Give me a break. All right, so let's take a step back here because, Brad, you were on Raw recently. In fact, your segment on Raw is the most watched segment of the year. I mean, it just keeps getting replayed over and over again worldwide and what have you. It's when you and a group of folks decided to apprehend that no-good Roman Reigns, that punk okay? And he decided to fight back, which is no good. I want the guy arrested, to be honest with you. I want him put in jail for it. But tell us about that moment there, Brad, because was that the first time that you stepped foot in the WWE ring?
That is the very first time I've ever had the opportunity to step foot into the ring. However, it was not my first time working for the WWE. It's kind of crazy how this world of wrestling runs in full circles. Is this time last year, it was almost to the date, I had the opportunity to work with the WWE right before WrestleMania. I was in Philly when they were there at the Wells Fargo Center, and then I went down to Virginia for SmackDown. And I was backstage, and unfortunately I wasn't needed for anything. But it's crazy how full circle things come. I couldn't be more thankful for what I was allowed to be a part of.
Yeah, it's interesting too.
What the bigger story is. So
well, it's interesting to see you at this point in your career where it's like, wow, this guy is all over every TV, every YouTube. WWE keeps replaying your segment with Roman Reigns, but within the past year, you had that fork in the road. You had a crossroads moment that most wrestlers go through, where things are not moving as quickly as they'd like it to, and they feel, man, is this really for me, and what have you. Talk to us about that time where you really had to decide whether or not you were going to stay in this business.
Well, thankfully, it never got to the point where I was like, hey, I'm going to walk away. I did get really frustrated and really, not really angry, but I was getting angry. I was slowly feeling myself getting mad, not really at the business, but more or less to the fact of I live in Amarillo, Texas. And Amarillo, Texas is historically a great place for professional wrestling.
Yeah, talk to me about the Funkers, bro. Of course.
Yeah, you got the Funks. You've had Manny Fernandez. You had just name them. DiBiase's come out of here. There's so many people that's come out of Amarillo, and I'm not from here. I recently moved here about a year and a half ago, and that's a different story. But I live here, and I have to travel 4 to 6 hours to any and every show I go to. Now, that's not a complaint. I'm actually happy to do so. I love traveling, and I love seeing the world. I love being on the road, and I absolutely love professional wrestling. But I was getting to this point where, why am I have to do it alone? There's other wrestlers here. There's guys that could easily jump in the car with me and go. Why am I feel like I'm the only one doing so? And why am I at 2 years in 161 matches feeling like, I feel like I'm already hitting like a wall, like I'm not getting any better doing what I'm doing, so I need to push myself to the limit. But to do that, I got to get bigger bookings and bigger opponents and more talented opponents. And so I was kind of feeling stuck in the mud, kind of feeling heavy with a lot of thinking. I wasn't unhappy with my place necessarily because I'm a champion for 2 different companies. And like I said, I've had 161 matches in 2 years, and that's not easy to do. It's not hard to do, but it's not easy to do when this business is all about, earning your place. And but I don't know, I was getting really frustrated with seeing other people, getting tryouts and seeing other people getting to work for bigger companies. And I wasn't jealousy. It was just like, I need to be there. I need to work harder, but is it obtainable? Just a lot of second guessing myself, and that's where I was getting frustrated. Second guessing myself and feeling like I was alone, feeling like I didn't have anybody to go on the road with and stuff like that. Because my wife's a wrestler, and unfortunately, right now she's pregnant, so she can't go with me everywhere we want to go. So, no joke. There's times where I'm driving. I did a shot a few times to Oklahoma, which is 4 hours.
Wow.
And then sleep in the car, drive 6 hours to Dallas, and then drive 5.5 hours back home. And I'm all by myself. There's been times I've driven to Tennessee, worked 2 shows, spent time with my son in Tennessee, and driven back. That's 12.5, 13 hours one way. And so I do that a lot. And thankfully this weekend I happened to be riding with a few guys to a show, but most of the time I'm by myself. And I think that's what was really getting to me is I felt alone. And because I felt alone, I felt like I wasn't getting any better.
Well, I got to ask you then. You have all this second guessing. You have all this stuff going on. Yeah, I'm doing this. I'm driving these long hours, and suddenly you're in front of the cameras. Do you realize it in the moment when you're on television? Because I'm fascinated about people who have real media. Unlike Duke and I, like people who are actually on TV, people who become really known. But it's like, so there you are. You're working, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere. And then they go, tonight you're on, and suddenly you are in the arena on national television. Is it sort of like an out-of-body experience?
I'm gonna be real with you guys, and this might get me some heat with some other people, but I don't care. When they said it's go time, I felt 100% at home.
Nice.
I didn't have any hesitation, no fear. One, I have a motto that I say as a professional wrestler, but I also live by it. I fear no man, and I respect very few. And stepping out in front of all those people, I wasn't afraid of those people. I wasn't afraid of Roman. I wasn't afraid of the ring. I wasn't afraid of the boos or the cheers or whatever was going to happen. I wasn't afraid of that. The only thing in my mind was, you're going to do this right, and you're going to make it look good. And I don't know why I'm that way, but I'm the type of person, you put that type of pressure on me, I'm going to perform every time. And then after the fact, I'll be nervous. After it was all over with, I was like, hey, was it good?
Yeah, second guess it there, yeah.
Every producer I could find, did you like that? Was that better? I was just, but in the moment, you guys, that was me. I turned the switch on, and if you watched it and you seen my face and you saw my reactions, that was me doing my thing, and I feel comfortable there. I felt at home. I love, like a SmackDown, there's a little more free reign, so you can kind of walk around the stage a little more. I'll walk right down the middle of the ramp and just feel at home. Like I like it. I love it.
I think that's important. I think that when you get to that level, it suddenly becomes very easy to see somebody who is uneased, who's someone who feels like they don't fit if they're in front of all those people in front of those cameras. And I think that's why it was so good, and it looked so good, because you, like you said, you're there, you're present in the moment, and you care. Wrestling, I think a lot of guys from the indies moving into the TV scene, the TV game is a money game. They want it to look good. They don't really care in the end. So the fact that you went over and you proved to these guys, like, hey, did that look good? Was that good for TV? They're probably loving that, and that's where their head's at. And the fact that you can do that so easily, that's awesome.
Man, I appreciate it. I've always, ever since I was a kid, I started doing stuff as a kid. I started being in front of crowds as a child. So crowds have never bothered me. I've never had any stage fright whatsoever. So yeah, that was my big thing, is when we got done and they said, yeah, you guys did a good job, we're fine. I found every person in a suit that had a WWE tag on. I didn't even know if they were a producer or not. And I was like, hey, did you see the segment? Did you like that? Was it good? All right. I even asked the gear makers. I asked everybody. I just wanted to make sure that we did our job and we did it the best way possible, and that everybody was happy. And
right.
Thankfully we did. And, because I've seen some times where, unfortunately, things didn't go so smoothly. And I didn't want to be one of those guys.
Well, unfortunately, there's some people on the roster who I won't mention that can never pull it off on TV.
Would you stop?
Who have no idea what they're doing and don't belong there. But, we're not going to get into that right now.
Please.
We're not going to get into that right now.
Folks, we're talking to the pride of Amarillo, Texas, Mr. Brad Sanders.
Well, you got his name right. I thought he was going to call you Brad Paisley. I don't know. I was nervous.
Now, listen, Brad, you know that this is the biggest time of the year, the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. Oh, yeah. This is what it's all about for wrestling fans and people in the business alike there. So tell us, what are your thoughts on this year's WrestleMania? What are the matches that you're looking forward to checking out the most?
Well, first and foremost, I'm a big fan of the production. I really enjoy how much work they put into producing what they're about to show us Sunday. Everything that it's just not everybody that's on the roster. I'm talking about everybody backstage and the writers and everybody. They put in so much time to make this something that we can enjoy, something we can debate, something that's going to get us heated, something that's going to draw emotion from us. And so that alone, just to seeing how they gear up for this event, it's phenomenal. And prediction wise, I'm happy with all the matches. I'm not against any match because I'm a realist. We've got to slowly incorporate the newer talent, find ways to get these people cemented in their place, and so that they can continue to grow the roster. There's people that's coming in, there's people that's leaving. It's like that in any sport. It's like that in any production. So you've got to find ways to make that work, be compelling, and draw emotion. My personal opinion, I think the only thing that I would like to have seen differently was I'd love to have seen the WWE finish the Braun Strowman story, because I don't feel like it's finished. I told my wife when he debuted, I said, he's going to be the next monster. He's going to be the next guy that no one can finish. He's going to be the next guy that no one should finish. And I was like, he should be the guy to put Brock Lesnar away as the champion, only because it takes a monster to defeat a monster. And they almost did it, and I think everybody was ready for it. But then again, you don't know what happens backstage. You don't know what changes. But I'm not against Roman as a performer. If it's not Braun, then it's got to be him, because I don't see anybody else on the roster that could do it compellingly and it'd be realistic.
Well, hold on a second there, Brad. I got to cut you off for a second there, because when we talk about the technical excellence that is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, I mean, you talk about crazy wrestling fans like myself who want to see these two guys, the best wrestlers on the planet.
I'm sorry, hang on one second. I know you guys are talking about wrestling, but as you know, my eyes start to roll in the back of my head. I have a very important question for Brad.
What? I'm talking about
Brad,
Shinsuke and AJ.
It just came to my attention that Brad is a wing connoisseur. He is an expert in the area of wings. Is that true, Brad?
Somewhat.
Okay, so I have a very important question for you, because you've agreed with Duke on the fanny pack, which upset me. So I'm hoping you can redeem yourself. If you have a fried chicken wing, do you dip it in sauce before you eat it?
I have.
Oh, come on.
You see that? You see that? First of all, Boston bad
Now,
boy.
wait a minute. Wings are a little bit different, because wings always usually come with pre-sauced.
Yes.
Our argument has been about Southern-style fried chicken and whether that should be dipped or enjoyed au natural.
Oh, okay. Well, no, that's different. Now,
okay.
I'm sick of this guy.
Fried chicken.
Yeah. Let's talk about fried chicken.
Southern-style fried chicken.
Yep.
Not wings. Not because what I just discovered, and I'll get to this in a minute, I discovered that wings in Jersey and Philly are a little different than what we have down here in Texas. But fried chicken itself, where you batter it and you fry it, I eat that with nothing.
That's right. Thank you very much.
A good batter.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Let me tell you something there, Brad. Okay, I didn't bring you on the Duke Loves Wrestling podcast to disagree with me over and over again like you're some kind of big shot. I told you before, sir, I will sue. Okay, you don't. Yeah, and look.
What do you plan on getting?
He might have a car with 350,000 miles on it. You can have.
Yeah. So, Brad, what is going to?
I haven't made it yet.
Yeah, you're still working your way up. But seriously, what is the number one match of the entire weekend? What's going to steal the show? If you had to pick one, I'm pinning you down here.
Man, still in the show, it's going to be the AJ Styles versus Nakamura, because they've proven that time to time again, when they get in the ring and they perform, they create magic. And whether it be Japan or wherever they've been, they have stolen the show. And I think that's what everybody's looking forward to. I think people are curious to see how that's going to go down. I think, and I would love to see Nakamura win, so we can have our first ever Japanese world champion.
Love it. Love it. Listen, Brad, if fans and bookers want to reach out to you, if they want to have the man, the pride of Amarillo, or as you guys say, Amarilla, if they want to have you down there on their shows, hey, listen, brother, I respect it. I respect
damn Yankee over here.
I'm telling you. What's the best way to reach out to you?
The best way, I got 3 social media accounts. My Facebook is just under right now, Brad Sanders. I've got it as a friend request style personal page, simply because I just can do more with it. Honestly, I can share and
you can block
interact better. So just Brad Sanders on Facebook. There's only one that's this good looking.
I like this guy. So, man after my own heart.
And then my Instagram is at Brad Sanders TX. You can get on me there and send me a follow. I'll usually follow back. And then my Twitter is Mr. Discipline. So at the Mr. Discipline on Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, unless I changed it. I'm horrible with my Twitter. I'm trying to get better at Twitter. I need somebody to help me with Twitter. It's not on my top 10. But then people can also email me at sanders.fitness.850@gmail.com. I do handle a lot of my bookings through my email as well.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And folks, we'll put all of Brad's social media and email up on the Duke Loves Wrestling fan page.
Can you say his name right now as we let him go? Say his name right, Duke.
His name is Brad Sanders.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure.
Say my name. say my name and put some respect on it,
Uh-oh. You see that? Do you have any parting words for us there, Brad?
Hey, guys, I just want you guys to know that I really appreciate you guys having me on. I can't wait to meet you guys in person. If anybody's listening to this podcast and you don't end up following me, there's only one way I can describe you in my mind, and that's the fact that you lack discipline.
Brad is a good guy, but I got to tell you, this whole thing about him being wishy-washy on the wings, I don't like that.
First of all, Brad knows what he's talking about. About Southern Fried Chicken. He doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to fanny packs, because that was just the most ridiculous explanation I've ever heard.
He's a wrestler.
My loose change?
Yeah.
Who's carrying change? It's 2018. What are we doing here?
You know what I'm worried about? The people listening, are they making notes because they know what's in his bag now? Are they going to try to swipe it now? I mean,
you know what? Good luck trying to swipe it from that guy, by the way. He'll strangle you with his own fanny pack.
So wait,
which I'd like to do to you, by the way, if I ever have the opportunity.
Since we talked about it with Brad, let's once and for all figure this out. Because WrestleMania weekend here, we got NXT on Saturday, you got WrestleMania Sunday.
You geek out on this.
I do. I do the big thing. I got to have a spread.
And it's really sad, to be honest. You look like a little sad puppy dog.
Stop it right now. Are you going to do the Popeyes, KFC, or Wingstop?
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, when it comes to those three, I'm always going with the Popeyes.
Okay.
That's any situation. That's WrestleMania. That's Easter Sunday. That's whatever. Whenever I can get my hands on it. Apparently not on vacation, though. Yeah. I can't get Popeyes on vacation.
That's another story.
That's another story. But what I'm going to do, Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to go to the Popeyes. I'm going to decide what I want when I get there, because I like to I got to feel it out.
Mix it up a little bit.
Well, the smells entice me.
Sure.
Do I want the mashed potato? Do I want the fry? Maybe a little of both? I don't know. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get my meal on Sunday, going to all set up, and I'm going to do anything else but watch WrestleMania.
Oh,
anything.
Would you stop?
I might go get a root canal.
Come on.
I might go watch Bob Ross's painting show.
Stop it right now.
Just you need to. You're too much with this stuff. You're too much,
dude. This
As
is
William
WrestleMania
Shatner
weekend.
said, get a life.
This is WrestleMania weekend. This is the thing that we've been waiting for all this time.
No, don't say we. You got a frog in your pocket?
Yeah, no,
it's we.
It's we.
Okay, yeah,
it's we. You're part of the family now, pal.
Please.
All right, you're part of the wrestling family now. Jeez. That's what it is.
I don't know what to say to you anymore, because
whatever.
it's gotten out of hand. You're a grown man, and you're like a little kid on Christmas with this.
That's right.
It's you know what it is? It's sad.
Okay.
It's sad.
Up next, we have your Ask Duke, folks. So, I got to get away from the Boston Bad Boy for a few moments here, because he's really annoying me when he's trying to talk trash about our WrestleMania
wait till we come back.
This is former WWE superstar Al Snow and magician to the blind. You're listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
All right, Boston Bad Boy. Hopefully you got your act together now. What do you have for Ask Duke?
Well, you want to talk about WrestleMania?
That's right.
Let's talk about WrestleMania.
Yes, please.
So, one of the championship matches is between Alexa Bliss, the champion, and Nia Jax, as you know.
Bliss. Yes, my girl, Alexa Bliss.
Your girl.
Keep saying she's the MVP.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of people saying a lot of other things about Alexa Bliss these days. Especially today, it came up on the Duke Loves Wrestling page, Duke's Wrestling Crew page. And a lot of the ladies who are very active and vocal in our group brought up a very interesting point. A very interesting point. Because, like I said earlier, this is 2018. It's not 1918. And there seems to be a little bit of a problem going on here. And I want you to explain to our listeners, because you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can tell by the look on your face. You know exactly what I'm talking about with the controversy and this new storyline they got going between Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax.
I don't know why you're bringing this up.
All right, I'm gonna continue, because you're hedging right now, and I don't want to hear it.
This up.
So let's take a look at this. You got Alexa Bliss, tiny, 5 feet of fury. You got Nia Jax, an Amazon, big girl, athletic, but comparatively, it's like Abbott and Costello here. How do you make someone as physically imposing of a wrestler as Nia Jax? How do you make her the babyface? How do you make her you want the crowd to root against a tiny person? How do you do it? I could think of a few ways. How did the WWE choose to do it? I think it leaves a little bit to be desired. I want you to explain to the listeners if they're not aware of this, which I'm sure they really are. But I want you to sweat it out while you explain to them what's going on here.
All right, the current
path they've chosen, the current storyline.
The current storyline is Alexa Bliss is making fun of Nia Jax's weight, and Alexa, she has Mickie James with her, and that's the thing. They're doing like the Mean Girls thing, where they're the popular girls in school, and they're making fun of the girl who's different.
Is that what they're doing? Making fun of the girl who's different?
Yes.
They're not referring to her and her blubber.
All right.
They're not referring to her and her fatness.
Okay.
They're not body shaming her at every turn. They're not doing that.
Dude.
Do you need me to pull up audio clips and play it back to you?
Well,
you friggin' Vince McMahon apologist.
Here's what I don't understand about you, Boston Bad Boy. You sit here all the time and you talk about how wrestling is fake and all this other crap.
It is.
And now suddenly you're going to take an issue with the storyline?
Yeah, you know why? Because wrestling is fake, and they have enough time to come up with a proper storyline that makes sense in 2018. There's a million ways you could do this. A million ways you could say they could be taunting her, as wrestlers have done since time immemorial. You're an awful wrestler. You're a yeller. You're a chicken. You can't face me. It's worked for 100 years. It's a tried and true formula. You can do that and talk about the person's skill. You can talk about the fact that they have no courage. To have women shaming other women in a television show that they know kids are the target audience, kids who are stupid, kids who have no idea, maybe, that it's fully scripted the way it is, and might think this is okay. This is how we should do this kind of thing. It's not that big of a deal. Normalizing it when there are people fighting so effing hard to get us out of the Stone Age with this stuff. And here you go again. You and your Vince McMahon and the idiot son-in-law, all of you. You have no effing clue. And it took the people on the page to call it out, and I have to be their voice. I'm the voice of the people.
Stop it. And listen, you're talking about all this women stuff, women this, women that. They do the same style storylines with guys.
Oh, get the hell out of
all
here.
Right?
Listen,
opportunity, pal.
You know what you're doing right now? This is whataboutism. Because you know what? They do it with the guys, and it's wrong there too, you nincompoop. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be done. Let's talk about the sport. Let's keep it about the sport, because it does nothing. Because here's the thing. You and I are adults. We know it's a storyline, and it's out there to get oohs and ahs, and it's there to twist the knife a little bit. But who is the primary target? It's not you, even though you're a frightening adult who watches this stuff.
Stop it.
This is meant for kids.
Stop it.
So tell me how this is okay. Tell me how there's no disclaimer on this. Tell me how we're even going down this road. Once again, Vince McMahon picks the exact wrong thing to do, and once again, it's another nail in his coffin.
Look.
And the coffin of wrestling as an industry, because his company can't get out of its own effing way with this stuff.
Nia Jax comes from a long lineage of people who are in the pro wrestling business who've had many different storylines and many different things. This is an opportunity to get her over.
Let me tell you something. Nia Jax is related to whom? Another famous name.
The Rock.
The Rock. Highest paid actor in Hollywood. General sweetheart. America's sweetheart, really. Everybody loves this guy.
Of course.
Even non-wrestling fans.
Sure.
The Rock recently came out and talked about he has struggled with depression in the past.
Yeah, which a lot of people, it took them by surprise to even hear that.
And The Rock, who's probably, in his 40s now?
Yeah.
Is cut like he's like a Greek god, which is hard to do when you get up to that age, just because you got to keep up with it. The Rock has also said he was a chubby kid. He fought with this stuff. This guy, much probably like Nia Jax, who's like 6 foot, isn't she 6 foot tall? I mean, don't we know that these people have struggled with this stuff? Or who knows what they're struggling with? Do you have to go to your job every day? I don't even know what you do for a living, to be honest. But do you have to go to your job every day?
Professional, handsome man.
Yeah. Do you have to go to your job every day and be put in a position where someone is needling you on your most sensitive issues and saying, you know what, it's just part of the job, deal with it? And you know what? Professionally, you probably can for a while. But is it right? Is it right to make money on that? Is it right to promote that message that not just the person you as the employee may be struggling with, but kids in the audience, people in the audience. Stupid.
It's entertainment.
It's lazy.
It's entertainment.
It's lazy.
And what don't you understand? This is sports entertainment.
Yeah. It's not entertaining and it's not sport right now because he's lost on McMahon's lost on two fronts. And it just goes, it's furthering the fact that Vince McMahon and company, especially when it comes to the females that they employ, they don't give a crap about what they have to go through, just like everything else. And there's something else that's going to illustrate this point because I have a lot of informants that people that send me little snippets of things to find interesting, and this is perfect. It came to light that Chris Jericho sent a text to Vince McMahon urging him to change the name of the Women's Battle Royale. Did you know this? Did you hear this story?
Yeah.
So here's how it goes. Jericho suggests to name it after Sherry Martel, and someone we know that was a hugely influential female wrestler. And Jericho says, we should name it the Sensational Invitational, because that was Sherry Martel's nickname. That's a great name. You know what Vince McMahon's response to that was? To that text message from one of his big name guys? Thanks. That's one word reply. He didn't even write the word out. THX.
What's wrong with that?
He's a prick. That's what's wrong with it.
Oh, my good. You know what? I got to get you off the air. Jesus.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.
Thank you to Brad Sanders for joining us, the pride of Amarillo, Texas. You can head over to Facebook and Twitter, type in Duke Loves Wrestling, let me know what you think of the show. I got to get the Boston bad boy out of here before he gets us yanked.
Before I expose you for the hack you are.
No, don't talk about my friend Vince McMahon
you don't
that
have
way.
Friends. Like,
you're so rude, all right?
You have no idea